Hello, this is Kevin Shelton, Reference and Government Documents Librarian. In this video, we will explore the ethical implications of artificial intelligence, or AI, in the practice of law. Given its ubiquity in so many areas, including the legal profession, AI itself needs no introduction. But with the increasing use of AI in the legal profession will also come great responsibility, and that does require careful consideration. Attorneys must ensure that AI tools are used ethically, reliably, and within the bounds of professional responsibility. To that end, never forget that generative AI is but one tool of many. It does not replace traditional legal research. So, what does ethics mean in legal research? For purposes of this discussion, ethics refers to a set of guiding principles to determine what is considered to be right and wrong behavior in order to ensure fairness, justice, and integrity. In legal research, using AI raises ethical questions about accuracy, confidentiality, accountability, and equity. Now, why does this matter? Among other reasons, as future lawyers, you are bound by codes of professional responsibility, for instance, the ABA Model Rules of Professional Conduct, which already impose ethical obligations that relate to the use of AI in legal research and practice. Now, how is AI used in legal research? Well, AI tools identify and analyze case law, statutes, contracts, and other legal documents, and they predict outcomes using vast accumulations of data known as large language models, or LLMs. Examples of current tools in use include Westlaw Precision / CoCounsel, Lexis+ Protege, ChatGPT, and many others. AI will obviously accelerate your routine and even non-routine tasks, but it also introduces ethical challenges that you will need to consider. So here, let's focus specifically on some key ethical concerns that surround AI in legal research and practice. Before we begin, however, note that this discussion applies to generative AI generally and not just to specific platforms such as Lexis, Westlaw, or ChatGPT. First, let's consider some of the problems related to accuracy and reliability. AI tools can be powerful research aids, but they are not infallible. When they are not properly trained or updated, they can produce inaccurate or misleading legal information. These hallucinations or confabulations may prove very problematic. As an example, consider the 2023 case of a New York lawyer who relied on ChatGPT for legal research. The AI-generated brief contained fabricated case law which went unnoticed until it was presented in court. The result? Sanctions against the attorney, as well as a stark reminder that AI must be used as a starting point and not as unquestioned authority. Note that an AI tool may also miss key precedents that could be relevant to a cause of action as well. So remember ABA Model Rule 1.1, competence in legal representation requires thoroughness and preparation. The lesson here then is straightforward. AI can assist, but lawyers must verify. Now we have some issues relating to bias and fairness. AI models learn from historical data, but if the data contain biases, then the AI will replicate and even amplify them. A major example is the COMPAS risk assessment tool, which is used in criminal justice to predict recidivism rates. Studies have shown that COMPAS disproportionately classifies black defendants at a higher rate to reoffend compared to white defendants, even when controlling for similar prior histories. AI can also perpetuate biases embedded in its training data, thus skewing legal advice. For instance, an AI tool may overrepresent cases favoring corporations due to dataset bias, and in that way give individual plaintiffs a misleading impression of their potential for successful litigation. So, the ethical takeaway? Blind trust in AI can perpetuate injustice. Attorneys must question the fairness of AI-driven conclusions and ensure that they do not reinforce discrimination. Now let's consider some of the issues raised by confidentiality and data privacy. Confidentiality is a cornerstone of ethical legal practice, but AI tools introduce new risks. If sensitive client data are processed without proper safeguards, then breaches may occur. For instance, AI-powered document review platforms handle vast amounts of confidential data. If these tools are not compliant with privacy regulations, then attorneys could face legal consequences. Therefore, legal professionals must monitor AI providers carefully and ensure that data protection is a top priority. In particular, it is advisable that AI tools be evaluated for security, for instance, encryption, compliance, before use. Now let's think a little bit about accountability and liability. When AI makes an error in legal research or practice, who is responsible? The attorney, the developer, the firm? Consider an AI-powered contract analysis tool that misinterprets a key provision, which leads to a major financial loss. If a junior attorney working at a firm but not yet fully admitted to the bar relies on AI's flawed contract analysis and a client loses a deal and sues, then where does liability fall? AI is like this junior or not yet admitted attorney. Its results also require supervision. In this regard, keep in mind ABA Model Rule 5.3 regarding supervision of non-lawyer assistants. This includes AI. So our takeaway here is that you are the one who is responsible, not the AI. Use it as a tool, not as a decision maker. As AI becomes more integrated into legal work, accountability must be clearly defined. Legal professionals must maintain oversight and ensure that AI-driven conclusions are cross-checked. Now let's consider the ethical use of predictive analytics. AI can now predict case outcomes with impressive accuracy, but is it ethical to use such tools to shape legal strategy? Of course, some firms do already use existing tools to analyze judges' past rulings, which help attorneys to predict, for instance, how judges might respond to specific motions. So while this practice may provide a strategic advantage, it raises ethical concerns about fairness and manipulation. The ethical question here is, will innovations in predictive AI that go far beyond the existing tools improve justice, or will they tip the scales unfairly? This is an evolving debate that legal professionals may have to navigate carefully. Saving the obvious for near the end, of course, AI must comply with legal ethics codes. It will have to align with existing legal codes such as the ABA Model Rules of Professional Conduct and ABA Ethics Opinions. For instance, ABA Formal Opinion 498, 2021 emphasizes that lawyers must understand the technology they use, and in particular, they must consider the ethical implications of the technology that they use, including AI. Simply adopting AI without knowing its limitations could lead to ethical violations. The key takeaway here, competency in AI is no longer optional. It is an ethical obligation. Now, on the other hand, let's not focus purely on the potentially negative. There are potential ethical benefits to using AI in legal practice and legal research, such as enhancing access to justice. For instance, AI makes legal research faster and cheaper, thus helping underserved clients. As an example, say a nonprofit uses Ross Intelligence quickly to research tenant rights, thus aiding low-income renters. The ethical tie here is that this aligns with the ethical duty to promote justice in ABA Model Rule 6.1 relating to public service. Our takeaway here is that AI may also democratize legal assistance if used responsibly and thoughtfully. So before we conclude, let's consider some guidelines for ethical AI use. Double-check AI research results manually to ensure accuracy. Always use secure and compliant tools to safeguard client data. Inform clients when AI is used in their case. Understand how AI works so that you can better spot biases or errors, and combine AI with human judgment for ethical practice. Now, what is the future of AI and ethics? Well, the trends, I think we can safely assume that AI tools will grow more comprehensive and thereby raise new ethical dilemmas. Regulators may also set stricter AI guidelines, for instance, ABA rules updates or new formal opinions. So your role as new lawyers will be to help to shape ethical standards for AI use. So ask yourselves, how will you ensure that AI serves justice and not just efficiency? So in conclusion, the responsible use of AI. As we conclude our general presentation, here are some key points to remember. AI is a starting point, not an endpoint. Always verify its output. Different AI tools have different strengths and weaknesses. Understanding these differences is essential. Effective prompting is critical. The quality of AI-generated results depends on how you ask your questions. Ethical responsibility in the use of AI is non-negotiable. Check AI-generated citations, be wary of AI hallucinations or confabulations, and always do your utmost to ensure accuracy. So AI is reshaping the legal profession, but it is up to us to use it competently, ethically, responsibly, and above all, wisely. Thank you for your time and interest. If you have any questions, then feel free to contact us or to visit us at the reference desk.